Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Now, let's eat.
Hello everyone, today we're looking at Renfield. This is a new horror comedy starring Nicholas Hoult as Renfield himself, but most notably Nicolas Cage as Dracula. It's a movie that I wasn't having super high expectations for, but I saw the trailer for it, thought it looked kind of fun, and of course, I'm always advocating for more horror comedies that are sort of self-aware of themselves, and just go for more of a campy tone than what we're used to. So in this film, we have Renfield, again played by Nicholas Hoult. He's been serving Count Dracula for years, decades by this point, mostly feeding him douchebags and people that nobody would really empathize with that much. But I guess Dracula's taste has sort of become a little bit numb to that, so now he wants some victims that are a little bit more innocent in nature because I guess their blood just tastes better. Because Renfield isn't evil like his master, he doesn't really want to do that, and thus the conflict in this movie ensues. Let's talk Nick Cage, because he's the reason that I and probably most people are going into this with any form of expectations. And I'll tell you right now, he's great. He's every bit as good as I wanted him to be. Just Nick Cage's line delivery is perfect for this, and I think his performance just sort of fits a more campy atmosphere. I really like his lair, too, that they choose for the movie. I like the colors and sort of just the ambience in general. There's like blood bags hanging in the back, most likely just remaining blood from his previous victims that's sort of keeping him alive. I like the attention to detail there. I like the makeup a lot. I think he looks great. It's just, this is the perfect, whoever decided Nick Cage would be good to play Dracula in a horror comedy, they were absolutely right. I never knew that I wanted him to be Dracula, but here we are. Nicholas Hoult is really good too as this sort of conflicted anti-hero. I like that his powers are essentially powered up by eating bugs, so he's eating spiders and flies and other various insects throughout the entire film. And again, the campy tone is something that really attracted me to this movie. There are a lot of really unique fight scenes, one of which concludes with a final blow that feels like it was ripped straight out of Mortal Kombat, so that was kind of cool to see. It might not land as well with everyone else. Although a lot of the violence was kind of fun, some of it was a bit too silly for my taste. There's a little bit too much shaky cam, overuse of bright neon fake looking CGI blood. It almost looks like strawberry jam at times. Like, you can have violence in your movie feel campy and still have it adhere to some form of reality. The best example of that I can think of would be something like Tarantino's Kill Bill. Somebody will get an arm sliced off in a movie like that and it's like a geyser of blood. Of course it's ridiculous, but it still feels real because it's not CGI and it's not neon and brightly colored. In this movie, somebody gets decapitated and it's just ridiculous the amount of just bright neon colored blood that's spraying out, and you can tell it's CGI not only because it just looks fake but also because the characters don't have blood landing on them despite the fact that it's spraying everywhere, and it kind of takes you out of the moment. Even though it's a campy movie that's not meant to be taken seriously, it still bothers me a lot. It just shows that they weren't really committed to using practical effects, which are always going to look better than CGI in my opinion when you can use them. And one of the things that bothered me most about this is that there's a whole other side to Renfield that I feel that the marketing sort of doesn't show you at all. And what I'm essentially talking about here is this entire subplot revolving around Awkwafina's character, Rebecca. She's a cop and the rest of her precinct is crooked and making deals with this crime boss played by Ben Schwartz. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of Awkwafina's acting. She was sort of annoying to me in Shang-Chi as just this throwaway comic relief character. At least she had a nice relationship with the protagonist in that movie. Here, she's just sort of the cheesy love interest who has to sort of discover who Renfield is through all these ridiculous scenarios. But regardless of her lack of charm as an actress, in my opinion, I just feel that this entire storyline about her wanting to get justice for her dead dad and sort of expose her entire force for their corruption just feels completely out of place in Renfield. It quite literally feels like it could be its own movie, completely separate from the entire Dracula storyline and everything else that, personally, I went to this movie looking to see solely. And the real shame here is that there are so many other cool things that you could do with this dynamic between Renfield and Dracula, and the movie should have just been a lot more focused on these two characters. Of course, there's a scene in the trailer that we've seen where he attends this support group, and Dracula comes in, and obviously some chaos ensues. And that was awesome. I just like, I want to see Nicolas Cage killing people, drinking their blood, and Renfield trying to get out of these situations that he finds himself in. I don't even really need him to have a romantic love interest in the movie. I don't need all of these subplots involving the police force and their corruption. So overall, Renfield to me was a pretty disappointing movie. It definitely has some fun, campy moments with Nick Cage going full-on Dracula. But to be honest, if you skip this, you're not going to miss much else other than that. It's a 2.5 out of 5 for me. I really wanted to like it more than this, but I just can't deny that this movie didn't realize its full potential, and it's only about 95 minutes, which I appreciate. But again, it's overstuffed with all of these subplots that don't need to be there and sort of detract from the fun that I was having with the other elements. So that's my take on Renfield, guys. As always, be sure to let me know what you think of the movie down in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.